having a good day. I just thought I'd go over one of these Hart storage containers. Basically, what I do is I keep all my essential tools that we use in our house on a daily basis in here, and you can buy these at Walmart for like 20 bucks, and it's one of the they're see-through, they're water resistant. They come with these little storage containers, and I pulled most of those out of here. And basically, I put all my essential tools, excuse me, and so you don't have to keep running up, up to your toolbox and constantly going to grab tools, etc., etc. Nothing like you're down the basement and then you got to run back upstairs, go get tools out of the toolbox, and you come back down, and then all of a sudden you got to come back, you got to go back up because you forgot something, you forgot a screw, you forgot a nail, etc., etc. So this is my homemade kit. So hopefully, I'm just trying to help you guys and gals out. You guys need to put together a kit like this so you don't have to, and keep it in, in a certain place where you can get to it real quick, for hanging pictures, if you're hanging ceiling fans, light fixtures, because my wife's always finding different light fixtures to buy, off Amazon and Wayfair, etc. You guys understand that. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I keep everything in here that, I need, when it comes to electrical, not really so much plumbing stuff. I'm going to put together a kit for plumbing eventually. This is mostly like electrical, picture hanging, any kind of like just basic maintenance around your house. But let's go ahead and, without further ado, let's get into it. So, it looks up, it's a see-through, that's what I like. You're not digging through, you can buy those Husky tool bags at Home Depot or, any kind of tool bag that you want, but you're constantly digging through stuff, trying to find tool, and you're spending more time trying to find stuff. At least here you can actually see what you've got, and if you put one together like I did, you know what you have, and you don't have to dig for it. So, basically, over here I got most of my quick electrical stuff that I need, really quick access to. Over here, just, more essential hand tools. And like I said, I'm going to go over all this stuff with you real quick. You need, of course, wire strippers. Those are Kleins. Got to have a carpenter pencil. Got to have a small, little hammer for hanging pictures, etc., etc. They got these at Home Depot, like on their, in their tool aisle. I think they're like $4. Best little investment you can make for a little homemade toolkit. I got these are Klein. Now these are a little bit more expensive. You guys can get whatever you want. These are more so electrical screwdrivers. So, it's a number 2 Phillips and a slide. Sharpie paint marker. These are great. You can pick these up usually in the paint section at your your home improvement stores. Got to have a good level. This is like a mini level. It's made by Channel Lock, and it's got the magnets on it. Of course, you got to have zip ties. Every time you turn around, once you run electrical, you got you want to make your job look neat, so make sure you use zip ties. This is a Klein extended tip screwdriver for like tight spaces that you can't get a regular screwdriver in. And like I said, if there's any kind of numbers you want, just let me know. But most of the stuff you can find at Home Depot. That's where I buy most of my stuff at anyway. When you're on a ladder and you're installing a ceiling fan, the last thing you want is trying to hold a flashlight to see in a dark area. So I have a Coast rechargeable light. These things are great, and they're very inexpensive. Now, this one was probably around like 30 or 35 bucks, but it's a rechargeable one. And the rechargeable ones are so much better. That way you don't have to keep buying AAA batteries, depending on how much you use it too. For changing out, like I said, I do a little bit more probably than the normal homeowner. These are 1/4 inch and 5/16 inch nut drivers. I change out capacitors and stuff like that in the air conditioner. So if that's what those are for, you guys don't really need these in your kit. But if you want, like I said, you can add it to your kit. You can put whatever you want in there. I'm just trying to help you guys out, put some ideas together. Just a small flathead screwdriver. Paintbrush, I put a paintbrush in there, not for painting. This is basically if you're, swapping a capacitor, or you're doing, running electric, and you have to get into a panel and there's a bunch of varmints and stuff in there. Kind of want to sweep it out before you, start running your wire and get all the little insects out, spider webs, etc. This is a Milwaukee 13-in-1 screwdriver. It's got, your different Phillips heads, your 1 and 2. You got your 1/4 inch, your 5/16, etc. Nut drivers on it. Comes in handy. Great little screwdriver to add to your arsenal. This, to me, is a definite essential tool. This is a Milwaukee metric hex driver. And you can remove these bits and put them in your, your drill driver or your impact driver. Basically, if you have, I have a little girl, and every time I turn around, my wife's ordering something off Amazon, and if it's like furniture or toy wise, I feel like I gotta put it. Sometimes you gotta put it together. 4mm and 5mm are most popular. And I assemble a lot of furniture too. And this thing comes in super, super handy. So you've got everything, in this. And it was like, I think $22 at the time. I think they've went up a little bit, but they're lifetime warranty through Milwaukee. So, and that's including the tips. This is a really cool tool. This is a magnetic stud finder with a level on it. So basically you run it along the drywall, and wherever it finds a screw, it sticks to it. So we hang a lot of, I feel like I'm always hanging a TV somewhere. We got like 4 TVs hung. I'm trying to get, most of our TVs hung in our home where we don't have to, they're not like sitting on a, on a useless piece of furniture that collects dust. But this was like, I think $7 or $8, and it works out great. And you know exactly where the studs are too. If you don't want to spend like $35 to $45 on a electrical stud finder, but this is kind of, just for the price, I mean, and it works. These are Knipex needle nose pliers. These are essential for like, when you're doing electrical and stuff like that. And you never know when you're going to need needle nose pliers. They come in so handy for everything. But these are Knipex. They're made in Germany. These are a little bit more expensive, but they're worth every penny, and they will last for a long, long time. This is a mini ratcheting screwdriver I've had for years. So basically, you can use these, in real tight areas. If you've got a real super tight area and you got some screws in that you need to tighten up or loosen up, where a normal screwdriver you can't get in, you can get this in there. It's got the different bits as well. This is an old school Craftsman ratcheting screwdriver. There's like 15 different bits in there, and they they store up here in the handle. I don't think you can even get these anymore, but it's such a great screwdriver. Markers, Sharpie markers are imperative. Like I said, when you're hanging a picture or something on the wall, I usually don't use a pencil. I usually use a marker, because it's usually me hanging it by myself, and then if I go to put the picture up against the wall and it goes to slide on me on one side, if I use a pencil, it seems like it kind of smears, where this won't, and you're not going to see it anyways once you hang the picture. But if you're that adamant about if you don't want to use a permanent marker on your drywall, I understand. This is just what I do. Just a flathead Craftsman, just an old beater screwdriver. I call them a pry bar. It's really a pry bar to me. Gotta have AAA batteries. Every time I turn around, my little girl's like, "Hey, can you replace the batteries in this? This toy's, it's not working. Here's the batteries." I got these bits. I haven't tried them out yet. I got these from Menards. They're Performix hex drive bits. Just to have, just in case. Like I said, I'm always, anything nowadays, mostly, a lot of stuff is metric anymore. I still have standard, but most of it's metric. I just got these for backups to put in case I do lose any bits out of any of my screwdrivers. Pair of channel lock dikes. These come in handy. These are for cutting wire, etc. If you need to cut twist ties, zip ties, whatever you need to cut with them, these are your go-to. You got to have a magnet. Got to have a magnet pickup tool, guys. You can pick these up for like $3-4 at Menards, Home Depot, whatever. But if you're, like I said, I'm referring back to hanging ceiling fans because I've replaced all the ceiling fans in our house and added a few. But if you drop something on a ladder, or if you know, that way you can pick it up. Also, let's go with this. Make sure you have, of course, I put this in here with all the screws. When you're hanging light fixtures and stuff, you want to make sure you got a little magnet bowl. This is great for picking up off the floor, especially in a tight area. But the magnet bowl, these come in so super handy. Once you guys, I mean, you can't really live without a magnet bowl. I mean, I drop stuff all the time, but these come in super handy, and they're really super cheap. Pair of Knipex. These are, I think they're Cobras. Cobra water pump pliers. They are great. I mean, these blow channel lock out of the water. Just the teeth, the gripping power on them are awesome. If you got to fix like a hose faucet outside or something, or you got to loosen up, any kind of plumbing, anything you got to kind of pry or get out, these things are just, they're awesome. They're Knipex. They're made in Germany. They work out great. Just an old school crescent wrench, Craftsman, American made. I also got a Klein 11-in-1 screwdriver. It's got all the different, bits, flathead, Phillips, etc. Nut driver, 1/4 inch, 5/16, and it's just these are great. Awesome screwdriver to have, like in your kitchen drawer or in your arsenal, like I've got. Got to have an electrical tester. So if you run electric, you want to make sure everything's right in there. These will light up and tell you. Relatively cheap. This is made by Ideal. They're a big company that makes electrical tools. Got to have a... you absolutely have to have a tape measure. So if you're moving a piece of furniture, every time I turn around, I feel like we're moving furniture. That way you can measure it to make sure you got enough area to get it in your door. You don't have to take the piece of furniture apart. Nothing worse than grabbing a piece of furniture, trying to get it through your door, and then you got to set it in the grass and try to figure out another way in. And then, you got to take the whole thing apart, but, when you should have just waited, measured it, what do they say? Measure twice, cut once. Yeah. Even though you're not cutting. A Milwaukee Tick. These things are great. Non-contact voltage testers. These things work out great. Always want to, check your wire. And you always want to make sure you turn off your power before you start working on it. This is a secondary just to make sure. But don't always believe these things. Make sure that there's no power running through your wire unless you like to work on hot stuff. I mean, that's up to you. This is a Klein stubby ratcheting screwdriver. I think this was like $15. I've had these for years, so don't quote me on all the prices. The prices probably went up with all of our, everything else going up in this world. Pair of Klein wire strippers. These are more heavy-duty wire strippers. Like I said, I do a lot of electrical work, so these come in super, super handy for everything. I use them all the time. I got a brand new roll of electrical tape. That's definitely got to have electrical tape. I have a small little Klein screwdriver. These come in really handy, especially like all these batteries and all these like kid toys nowadays. You have to you gotta have something. You gotta have a relatively small screwdriver because they take these like watch batteries and stuff. You guys know what I mean. This is handy as can be. 32581 is a part number, but you can pick these up really relatively cheap. This is a Klein. I like Klein stuff. I'm a Klein tool guy, and also Knipex. I love Knipex, but you can pick that up at Home Depot, relatively cheap. Let's see also. Now, these are called Wego lever connectors. Basically, these open up. These are awesome for installing ceiling fans. So if you got that smaller gauge wire, you just pop your wire in there, and then you just click it down instead of having to use wire nuts. They work out great. They come in like a 2 or 3 wires. So these come in super handy. Now, guys, like I said, this is basically my setup. You guys can do whatever you want, however you want, but I carry extra screws and stuff in here. Here's my 5 lever Wego connector. So that's like, you know, when you put all your grounds together or whatnot, you use one of these, or, you know, if you got several hots coming in. That's basically my kit. Also, I keep some Teflon tape in there. That's always handy to have too. This stuff just works for me. You guys do it however you want, but like I said, this basically is a kit I put together. I feel like this is the essential kit that keeps me from constantly running up and down the stairs. To go to the toolbox and to keep making multiple trips, I've combined everything into one kit. Now, this kit comes with all these containers, all the way, you know, if it's all filled with these empty blue containers. I basically took out all those containers except for 4, and then I just put all my hand tools in. So that's what worked out for me. I plan on putting a plumbing kit together. This is kind of like an electrical, just home basic kit for now. Sometimes if I have to add something to it, I will, but I pretty much have everything in here that I need to pretty much do anything pretty much in this household when it comes to standard stuff. So please like, share, and subscribe. I'm kind of new to all this, so hopefully this gives you guys some ideas on what to put together relatively cheap. And like I said, this box was only 20 bucks at Walmart, and it's worth every penny. And you can buy them. This is like you know, instead of I'm not buying a Milwaukee because I don't use it for a living, or a big DeWalt pack out. To me, that's just a waste of money because I'm only using it here most of the time. And then, yeah, I mean, I'll help some friends and relatives out or whatnot, but I don't need to. I'm not the kind of person that's going to spend a bunch of money on something that I don't really use it for a living. So, but hopefully this gives you guys some ideas, and I didn't mean to make this video this long, but if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. I will get back to you. But like I said, please like, share, and subscribe. If there's anything else I can do to help you guys out, please let me know. And you guys have a great day. Thanks.